Welcome back to Factual America. Today, I traded in my sneakers for boots, put on a hat, and set out to answer one wild question. What's it really like to live like a cowboy in America? For 48 hours, I ditched my phone, left the city behind, and went all in on ranch life, cattle, campfires, and a whole lot of dust. From sunrise roundups to rodeo skills and cowboy cookouts, I'm bringing you along for every challenge, mishap, and moment of pure Western adventure. Smash that like button, subscribe, and saddle up, because this is the real deal cowboy experience. Part 1. Suiting up for the West. First things first, you can't be a cowboy without looking the part. My ranch guide, Big Jake, sized me up and handed me a classic cowboy hat, shade and style partner. Well-worn boots, you'll thank me later. A flannel shirt, denim jeans, and a bandana. For dust, sweat, and looking tough. I was ready, at least on the outside. Inside, I was buzzing with nerves and excitement, wondering if I'd make it through the next 2 days. Part 2. Sunrise on the range. Cowboy life starts early. Before the sun was up, I was out in the crisp air learning how to saddle a horse. My horse, Biscuit, was patient, thankfully, and with a little help, I was in the saddle and ready for the day's first task, the morning cattle roundup. Riding out with the crew, I learned fast. Steering a horse isn't as easy as it looks. We moved the herd across open fields, calling out to stragglers and keeping everyone together. By the time the sun was up, I already felt like I'd lived a full day. The quiet of the morning, the sound of hooves on dew-soaked grass, and the sight of the herd moving as one, it was both peaceful and exhilarating. Part 3. Ranch chores, the real deal. No cowboy adventure is complete without hard work. For the next few hours, I mucked stalls, shoveling, and more shoveling, fixed a broken fence with more wire than I thought possible, learned how to toss hay bales, lift with your legs, not your back, helped mend a gate that a stubborn bull had busted through the night before. Sweaty, dirty, and already a little sore, I started to see why cowboys are so tough. Every task required teamwork, patience, and a sense of humor. The crew swapped stories and jokes, making even the dirtiest jobs feel like part of the adventure. Part 4. Lunch, cowboy style. After all that work, it was time for a real cowboy meal. Big Jake fired up the campfire and we cooked up beans in a cast-iron pot, sizzling bacon, fresh cornbread. We ate under the open sky, swapping stories and listening to the wind. Food never tasted so good. There's something about eating outside, surrounded by the smell of horses and sagebrush, that makes even the simplest meal feel gourmet. Part 5. Rodeo Skills Challenge. Next up, learning the skills every cowboy needs. I tried my hand at roping. After a dozen failed attempts, I finally lassoed a fake calf. The crew cheered like I'd won a trophy. Barrel racing, Biscuit and I zigzagged through barrels. Okay, more like wobbled. But I didn't fall off. Horseshoe toss. Turns out I'm better at this than beer pong. Whip cracking. I managed one loud snap, scaring myself and the chickens. We wrapped up with a quick lesson in line dancing. Spoiler, I have 2 left feet, but a lot of enthusiasm. The laughter and encouragement from the crew made me feel like I was part of the family, even if my moves were more wounded chicken than honky-tonk hero. Part 6. Evening on the Prairie. As the sun set, the whole ranch gathered around the campfire. There was guitar music, cowboy songs, and even a little storytelling about local legends and wild cattle drives from years past. I roasted marshmallows, listened to coyotes howling, and realized how peaceful life can be when you're miles from the nearest city light. People shared tales of close calls with stampedes, the time a horse saved a ranch hand from a flash flood, and the ghost stories that every old ranch seems to have. It was a reminder that cowboy life isn't just about hard work, it's about community, tradition, and living with a sense of adventure. Part 7. Sleeping Under the Stars. For the full cowboy experience, I rolled out a bedroll by the fire and slept under the stars. It was chilly, but the sky was so clear I could see a million stars. No traffic, no phones, just the sound of horses and the crackle of the fire. I drifted off to sleep, feeling more connected to the land than I ever had before. Part 8. Day 2. More than just cattle. The next day, I joined a cattle drive, helped check on new calves, and even learned how to patch up a horse's hoof. I realized being a cowboy isn't just about riding horses. It's about caring for animals, working as a team, and respecting the land. I helped tag a newborn calf, learned how to spot signs of illness in the herd, and even got a crash course in basic veterinary care. By the end of the second day, I was exhausted, sunburned, and had a new appreciation for the grit it takes to live this life. My hands were blistered, my back ached, but I felt proud of what I'd accomplished, even if I was moving a little slower than the real cowboys. Part 9. What I learned living like a cowboy. Cowboy life is hard work, but it's also rewarding, honest, and full of adventure. There's a real sense of community on the ranch. Everyone looks out for each other. Sometimes the best moments are the simplest. A good meal, a starry sky, and a job well done. You don't need Wi-Fi to feel connected, just a campfire and a few good stories. Wrap up. So, could I hack it as a real cowboy? Maybe not for a lifetime, but for 48 hours I learned, laughed, and lived the legend. If you want to see more wild American adventures, deep dives into unique lifestyles, or have your own cowboy story, smash that like button, subscribe, and share your wildest Western moment in the comments below. This is Factual America, signing off with dusty boots, a full belly, and a heart full of cowboy spirit. Until next time, happy trails, partner.